What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hi to all the new subscribers. So today, we're not going to be working on the Chevy. We're actually going to get back into a project I started, well, over a year ago. I will say, if you don't need to tear it down, don't tear it down, because this has kind of bit me in the butt, and it's been down for like a year and a half. So I'll show you what we're getting back into. So we're getting back into my 1986 Yamaha Tri-Z250. So originally this was a complete bike, rode, it was just a good bike, it ran. Well, I got the great idea, let's extend the swing arm. And then one thing led to another, a color change, strip it. I got a bunch of parts over there, totes on the other side of that there. It just turned into a nightmare. So me procrastinating on this about a year later, it's kind of come back to bite me in the butt. So I had this powder coated. I did this myself with a friend at their house, and it sat in my shed, which some rodents got in there. They peed on it. So now we're at this point. So I have rust to deal with now on here. It's really kind of all over the place. And I didn't notice, but like when we originally did this, there's a little bit here we missed. I got some rust here. Like it's chipping down here. And it's kind of the same deal down there. It's flaking off. So what I'm gonna do is take some red Scotch-Brite, and I'm going to Scotch-Brite the whole thing, take down the sheen from the powder coat, and then I'll hit it with some engine enamel primer, just dupe color, and then over here, the Duplicolor engine enamel Grabbler green. Once it's sprayed out, it is the exact same color. This is the color is actually Kawasaki green. It's from Eastwood Products. It's some of their powder, but I don't blame the powder's fault. It's mine. I neglected it. I just set it out in the shed. So here we are. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this up on a time lapse and just show me scuffing this thing down. All right, so I kind of got her makeshift hung up here to get spraying, but I got most of the glossy part of this knocked down. I'm getting ready to go and spray it in gray primer. I'm not too worried about this looking beautiful, honestly, because one trip to the coast and it's going to be kind of, the frame's going to take most of the hit. So this is really just more making it look pretty for the one time I take it out before it gets ruined. But I'm going to go ahead and get masked up and get on the first coat of primer. All right, so I have now got 2 coats of primer on. I'll show you guys. So now I have 2 coats of primer. This is the last one. I just got done spraying it, well, about 5 minutes ago. So it needs to dry up some more, quite a bit more, another hour or so probably, before I even want to attempt to put on some more paint. I'm just using my little propane heater. That's what I actually use to heat the garage in winter because it does get cold here in Oregon. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry up, and I'll show you guys once I get the first coat on. All right, so it's been about a week since I've painted the frame, and I'll show you guys how it's looking. So it's all painted up, it's dried, clear coat. I got saran wrap to kind of protect the bottom for right now, but looking pretty fresh. So the next step in this journey, drill and some bits, drill bit, or not drill bits, but a tap. And I'm gonna go ahead and chase out all bolt holes, get those all cleaned up, and we'll start throwing on some parts. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys on a head mount and a time lapse, and we'll get this knocked out. All right, so now I have all the holes tapped. You can see here, still got a little bit of tapping lube, but I got all the holes tapped, and we're gonna go start bolting on some parts. So I'm gonna go grab some of the things we're gonna get bolted on, and I'll tell you what they are, because most of the stuff that's going back on this is Banshee related for the most part. So let's get into it. All right, so let's jump into putting some parts on the bike. So as I was talking about earlier, Tri-Z stuff is not easy to come by. And I'll be using some Banshee parts, blaster, other things of that nature. But I just wanted to show you right now the difference between a Banshee rear master cylinder and the Tri-Z rear master cylinder. So currently this is the original Tri-Z master cylinder. Comes off, it's got the reservoir. And then over here we have the Banshee, same mounting hole. It's got the same pivot. The angle on where this comes out is a little different. This is straight up, this one kind of comes off to the side, and then the reservoir mounting is different. So what I'm gonna do is pull the Tri-Z reservoir off. So I'll end up cleaning this up and then swapping it onto this, and then I'll have a brand new master, and that is from a Banshee, which is readily available. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this taken off. I'll go get it cleaned up, we'll get it put on here, and we'll get it put on the frame. Alright, so I got some parts cleaned up, and I've tried to do things a little different. So this is the feed off the Banshee one, and this is the Tri-Z one. And as you guys can see, hopefully the camera can pick it up, there's quite a bit of volume difference. So these just have inside, hopefully you guys can see, it's just got a little sealing O-ring. So all you have to do is just take the one off the Z and put it onto the Banshee one, and then I'll just go ahead and install the new screw. Let me kind of set the tripod up here for a second for you guys. Oop. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this screwed in there. It doesn't need to be super tight. And now we have the correct offset, because like I was saying, showing you before, there is a bit of a difference on that. And then move you guys here for a second. So I'll go ahead and huck that out of the way. And then I went ahead and cleaned up the reservoir. It's going to be kind of hard to get this to look like that, considering how old this is. But I was able to get everything else cleaned up. All the rubber and all that's still great shape. So is the lid and even the hose. So I'm going to go ahead and set you guys back down, and I'll get this put together. So the little rubber, collapse that back down. That goes inside there. Well, actually, you're going to want to put the little locking ring around there. And that goes like that. And then you got your lid. Nice and tight. Then we'll go ahead and put the protector so it doesn't rub through back on. put it on this way. So this end will go back into here. And then this other end goes back onto here. And then that'll set kind of up in the bike like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get some hose clamps on it, and then we'll go ahead and get it put onto the bike. Well, here's it installed. I got my stainless polished bolts, anti-seize, and that's just how the routing goes. Back behind the frame, comes swoops up here, and then I'll tighten this. Didn't come with a nut, so I got to find a nut, but that's what that's looking like. So now we'll go ahead and move on to the coil and some of that other stuff, get the wiring kind of set in here. All right, so I was going to install the radiator shroud brackets, but I'm missing hardware. So kind of sucks, but I did get the coil and the voltage regulator on. So this is voltage regulator, which this is also off of Banshee, because when I bought this bike, when it was new, it was bad. You got the coil, and that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm waiting on a few more parts to come in, which will be able to get some more progress on the car, or the bike, excuse me. But yeah, so I would like to kind of give everybody a backstory on this bike when I got it. I'll post some pictures here in just a second. Alright, so as you can see the bike, I got it as a basket case. I didn't take too many pictures beforehand, but I had to pull the engine out, fix the case cover, replace the seal. I polished up the plastics, all that stuff. And then I took it out a couple times, and then I got the great idea. Let's go ahead and extend the swing arm, and that turned into this. But I got the bike from I believe he's the original owner. The bike had some pretty old school DG pipe, DG expansion chamber, and some other stuff, which we'll see that in another video as I kind of go back through and bring that back to life. But that's kind of where we're at with the build so far. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you guys got any suggestions on anything, let me know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.